Okay. I would like to briefly touch on a couple different things. First thing, I don't know if we've really addressed Andrew Tate much from the pulpit. I know there's been some behind the scenes amongst the young men we've discussed Andrew Tate. So just a brief touch on Andrew Tate. First of all, who's familiar with Andrew Tate? Okay, most of you, right? Okay, so Andrew Tate is a social media influencer, basically, at this point. Extremely rich, big in the online manosphere. He's one of the popular figures. If you go online and who is it that's teaching young men how to be men, Andrew Tate would be one of them. And he is a heathen. He is a wicked man. He is a liar and a cheat and a manipulator and a thief. And he got interviewed by Tucker Carlson and by Candace Owens, and he sounds like a pretty wise person to listen to. And so that's why I want to talk about Andrew Tate for a minute. Because as Christians, we recognize that you can say good things and not be a godly person at the same time. So when we deal with people like Andrew Tate, there's a couple things we have to consider. First of all, can an evil person say true things? Yes. Can an evil person say true things better than a lot of the non-evil people are saying it? Yes. Does that make some of those things that he says possibly useful? Sure. Should we as Christians look to that person as a leader, an example, an authority, someone to be followed, admired, respected? No, not at all. Well, we sang it this morning. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scorners. Andrew Tate is wicked. And I say this based on biblical authority because you can listen to the things that he said, and I'm not going to go into detail, but he had basically built an empire on fornication and convincing women to sell themselves. And that's how he got rich, by his own admission, bragged about it on social media, and then goes on Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. I didn't listen to the Candace Owens. I listened to the Tucker Carlson one. Sounds extremely respectable, gives good counsel to men. 90% of what he says we would agree with. But then you dig a little bit into his past. I spent 20 minutes or so yesterday reading his Twitter page. And if you ever want an illustration of what it looks like for a man to be drunk on his own pride, go read Andrew Tate's Twitter page. It is just tweet after tweet about how awesome Andrew Tate is. And how he's the best at everything, and he drives the most expensive cars, and you need to get your life in shape so that you can have a life like me because my life is awesome. That is not biblical manhood. Does he get some elements of masculinity? Yes, and that's why he has an appeal. And that's why we as the church need to be speaking the truth when it comes to masculinity, so that the world there's not this vacuum, this void where young men are like, wait, it can be a good thing to be a masculine man? Okay. And then they tune into Andrew Tate. No, true masculinity comes through Christ. The masculinity that Andrew Tate advocates is an animalistic masculinity. It's no better than the masculinity of the alpha dog in the pack of wolves. He gets the females that he wants, and he beats up on the other male dogs, and there you go. There's Andrew Tate's masculinity in a nutshell, plus fancy cars. Okay, that's not Christian masculinity. That is not the sum total of what it means to be a man from a biblical worldview. But is strength there? Absolutely. Is being able to protect your family there? Absolutely. To beat down bad guys? Absolutely. To make a living, be a diligent worker, make good money for your family? Absolutely. To get a wife? Is that a biblical desire for men? To want a woman? Yes, one woman to be married to for life? Absolutely. But that's about as far as you can get with Andrew Tate. Most of what he is putting out is pride, machismo, braggadocio. It is toxic masculinity, actually. Because it is selfish masculinity. It is proud masculinity. And it's no surprise that he is now a Muslim. Because if you want a religion that will justify you in your just power, your quest for power, you go to Islam. So, in contrariety to that, Christianity offers Christ as the model man who lays down his life for his bride, who is faithful to one woman, and it's really sad. Andrew Tate has sold himself short. It's not, we can't get what Andrew Tate has. We have to settle for what Jesus offers. It's the other way around. He settled. He settled for being a top dog, for having animal masculinity. And he's missing out on the stuff that really matters. He got all the women, doesn't have a wife. He has sired children, doesn't have a family to come home to. He has a fancy car, he does not have a home. He's the one that sold himself short. He's the one that's missing out. He thinks he's on top of the world, and he talks about how because of his masculinity, he has experienced the loving touch of a beautiful woman, and he's destroyed men in the ring. And tell me that when you're 70, and you don't have the loving touch of a woman that you've known for 50 years there to care for you and to love you, and you're surrounded by your grandkids singing praise to Christ. And at that point, who envies Andrew Tate? Nobody. He's the one that's going to be lacking. And so there's one of those opportunities for us to see what Christ offers as beautiful. It's not just a matter of condemning. It is condemnable. What he says, what he does is condemnable. But it's really sad. It's really a step down. Jesus offers us something so much better. Okay, so there's one.